really lubricating it. It's making it listenable. It's working the voice so that it's something that feels potentially like it could do something. There's nothing more exciting than somebody that has a really well-trained voice when it's talking normally. I'm not talking about like it. I'm just talking about when James Earl Jones talks normally. It's very exciting because you can hear the potential that he could blow you away if he wanted to. And you don't know when. So it becomes exciting, you know. When you hear a voice that doesn't have that potential, it's okay, but it's not doing anything. And when you do film, you just bring it down. But it's more listenable, it's ready to go. It has that listenable quality. Let's take the consonants to get the clarity of words. We need consonants so that the ends of words are clear. Papa, bubble, but ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, breathe in. Papa, bubble, but ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta, cover. Distinctly hard to say, but harder still to do. A thing distinctly hard to say, but harder still to do. Beautiful. Let's take the whole thing on one breath. What's it to do to die today at a minute or two to two? A thing distinctly hard to say, but harder still to do. Breathe in. What to do to die today at a minute or two to two? A thing distinctly hard to say, but harder still to do. Great. Now, partly, it's brand new. I realize that. But when you're working on stage, some of you may say, "Well, I really am more interested in doing film." And I would say to you, if you are, you better work on stage. You better work on stage because that's where you're going to really, get yourself in shape the best for just being the best actor you can be, if nothing else. And you're up. If you really want to work on film, you're not competing with good actors. You're working with the best trained actors who have been through most of them have been through years and years of what we're doing now, and still do some of that. Let's take a sound, ooh, and take it from the basement all the way up from your toes, all the way up the body, and up the top of your head on one breath. So it kind of goes like this. Except you want to have the range. You want to be able to not just talk flatly. You want to be able to color words. You want to be able to color within a speech rather than just talking on the road. And anything that you can do to stretch that settle. When you get up too high, now you're not using the diaphragm. Now you're up in the air. See if you can do only as high as you can use your diaphragm. Let's take it. Breathe in. Pick a partner to your left or your right. We'll do a mirror. There you go. See yourself. One and two. One way. And all we do is look at the face of the person opposite you. Just looking at the face of the person opposite you, you're lucky. We're looking at the most gorgeous people right here. And I'll call out a number, and all I want you to do is start moving one part of your body only. But whoever is leading has to keep the other person with them, rather than doing something and then having somebody follow. See if you can keep that person with you right from the beginning. Nice. Number, oh, you'll work it out, I'm sure. There you go. Number 2, begin. Oh, I saw Francesco take the lead. He went too fast. It took a while for Maria to catch up, Francesco. Much harder to keep somebody with you. One adds the rest of the body to the movement that's already going on, so that if the arms started, the legs are starting to move. If the legs started to move, the arms are starting, along with the rest of the body. Two adds of sound that goes with that move, whatever is appropriate, using the diaphragm. Makes you a dancing mirror, and you start moving with everything moving. Everything in the body is moving now. Number 1 is leading, and you're a dancing mirror, moving across the floor, using up more space than you normally would. Now, nobody's leading. You're working totally together, and you're moving. You're dancing, and you're moving, and you're dancing across the floor, weaving in and out of other mirrors if you have to, using more space, using even more space now. You can use even more space. Everything's moving, everything. The arms are moving, the legs, the heads, the ears, the noses. Without losing your own mirror, you're going to morph into a larger mirror with one other mirror only. Without losing your mirror, you're going to morph into a larger larger mirror with one other mirror. Francesco, you're morphing into a larger mirror with one other mirror. Without losing your mirror, Francesco, morph into a larger mirror. They already have a mirror, Francesco. I think they already have a mirror. This is there. And without losing that mirror, let's morph into one humongous mirror with everybody in the joint. Francesca will start to change it using whatever she does. She'll change it, but she'll keep everybody with you as she changes it. She'll come into the center, a sound and a movement that everybody can follow. She'll give it off to somebody. Take it, and from that is going to evolve it into some new sound. I mean, but it is something that is the basis of everything we do. It's the kind of giving and taking off of what you get, rather than what you want to do. And you can only do what you give. Otherwise, there's a disconnect. And that's hard, because I may know what I want to do, but if Maria comes and gives me something, I can't necessarily do what I wanted to do. I have to wait and play off of what she gives us. Let's do the same kind of thing now with a character and any kind of piece that you may have brought with you. Ideally, it's something that's memorized. If you're going to be working off with at least one other person. And it's the same principle. We're playing whenever you may have thought of it as a monologue or a speech, but it ain't going to be that anymore. You're now going to have to take it off of the person who's in that scene from that play or movie. And you're going to have to make at least one of us that person. Okay? Just as we did, you're going to play off with somebody. So if I'm Hamlet, I'm going to go up to my Osric. And I'm going to do my scene with Osric. And I'm going to watch Osric as I'm talking to him. I'm going to be very aware of what he might be thinking as I say these things. And I'm going to try to answer his thoughts as I'm speaking to him, rather than talking to Osric as a wall that has. Osric is going to be speaking to me silently, because I have a speech that I speak aloud, but he's going to be thinking. And I'm going to have to play off what I think he might be thinking to connect to it. Yeah. When I finish, I'm not finished at all. Because now I finished what I have to say, but Osric is no longer Osric, because he's going to be whatever character he wanted to be. And he's going to start speaking to me and making me whatever the play is. And he'll start speaking to me and then move to somebody else. After a couple of lines, he'll find somebody else to be the character in the play. It keeps it moving. Okay. We want to make sure everybody goes before anybody gets a second chance, right? So we're going to be watching carefully in character, so we can see who's gone and who hasn't. And we're going to be thinking as our character rather than as Maria. We're not going to be thinking as Maria. We're going to be thinking of the character we're playing if we listen. Because so much of the work we do as actors is really speaking silently rather than speaking aloud. The thoughts that we have as we listen to the scene is where the life is really more than not. Obviously, when people speak, it's important, but it's almost more important that people who listen are really also very much there, rather than just smiling like they're listening, and waiting for a cue. So, and it'll depend on how I finish my speech. To say, Maria, if I finish it, how she's going to start her speech. Depending on the tone of what I do, her first line will have to connect with it, rather than saying it the way she did last night. Right? To connect with what's going on. Right? The other thing is, we're going to play to Mr. Cornwall in the back. He's in the balcony. He pays about $150 to sit back there in the balcony. And those are expensive seats these days in the balcony. There are no cheap seats. Have you noticed anymore?
I appreciate the discount, Rob.
Yes, yes. He only can afford $150. We put him in the balcony there. The seats in the office are like, forget about it. It's $300. So, if I'm paying that kind of money, I want to hear it, and I want to understand what's being said. I don't care whether it's, I'd like it to be natural, but I also wanna hear the story. That's why we did all this malarkey just now, right? All right, so we're gonna try to do that. Okay? We're also going to make sure that everybody gets seen. So if I'm Maria and somebody, you know, or even if I'm here and I have to, the audience is out there for this, right? Obviously, I'm not gonna speak like this. I'm gonna find a way to speak as I move up, maybe so that I'm opening myself up to the audience. And I'm gonna try and make it natural. I'm gonna move in a way that keeps me open and yet still natural. Okay, so I'm gonna be very much concerned, I'm gonna be speaking maybe to Craig with my speech, but he's an actor like myself in the play, so it's not really for Craig, it's for the guy called Jack Cornwell in the back. That's who I'm really speaking to. I don't forget those people just because Craig is here. So I'm talking to Craig, but you know, it's really to the guy back there. That doesn't mean it has to be very, very loud. It means it has to be clear, and it has to be using the diaphragm. So if I talk like this, it's going to be plenty loud to get into the back of the theater if I'm using my diaphragm and if I'm closing the ends of my words and not letting the lines go down in the toilet. Yeah? Okay? So, I'm going to ask, Eddie just stood up, and I know what he's going to do. So I'm going to ask each of you to give me any word at all and say it once. And see if you can say it with the end of the word very clear, with the consonant or what have you. A word, any word at all, top.
Wood.
What?
Wood.
Wood?
Wood.
Oh, wood. Wood. Took 3 times. It took 3 times till I got it. First I heard wood. Last time I heard wood. Wood. Now in the house out there, it's going to sound like wood because it's far. Up here, though, it's going to be wood. So everything's a little heightened. It should be. It's another kind of reality. Francesca?
Insult.
Insult. Insult.
Insult.
Yeah. Out there, it'll sound like insult. Maybe not even that much.
Chase.
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 Chafes.
Fight.
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 Fight? Good. Out there, it'll be fight.
Florizel.
Floridel.
Florizel.
Florindel.
Florizel.
Florindel. Is that right?
Florizel.
Florindel. Florindel.
Florizel.
Florin.